What's up people, Tasaran here and welcome to the World of Warcraft Vanilla on Northdale with our Hunter. So first of all, just want to apologise, the regularity of the episodes has altered slightly. Not a permanent thing, it's just been a really busy week. Just hasn't had chance to do any kind of recording really. So what we're seeing here is last night, because today is my day off, last night I was able to actually stay up. Don't have to worry about getting up in the morning, which is nice. So I decided to do a bit of questing in Tasaran. Now we're in the southwestern edge. Still trying to get the laden dew gland thing from the collectors. I kind of cocked this up a little bit. But really struggled. I tried grinding it out before and it didn't drop at all. It's only got a 10% drop chance, which is just diabolical, and now proper screwed because the third one's come up. So I just did a quick feign death there with the last of my mana just to get it out of the way. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm screwed. Kiki's down. Kiki is down. This is not good. And these are a real pain in the arse with this entanglement spell that they cast. See, ideally what I'd like to do is stop using mana really, so I can get and save it for when a feign death comes up. That's not helped. Don't know, like I thought, I'm going to keep using it on any mongoose bite and wing clip that I possibly can. But there we go, we got the feign death. A real nightmare, these things. But never mind, I'm going to try and stick at it the best I can. Revive old Kiki up. Lovely jubbly. But that was purely a mistake, just because I went to pull one, then Kiki aggroed another one, and then I aggroed a third, and it's just, we've got to be really careful. They're like 2-3 levels above us around here, so just give Kiki a little bit of something just to keep him happy. But yeah, anyway, this is last night. And I keep noticing in the chat box there that someone keeps on asking for members to do an older man run, and I was getting really tempted by it. The only downside is that my Hearthstone, even though it is Ironforge, it's on cooldown. And I think at some point I end up changing my Hearthstone to Tasaran, because I do want to be here. I want to do Zul'Farrak. We've got all 7 quests for it. We've got the mallet. We really want to get that done. I'm just asking them here, is there any chance you can summon? Because if they've got a warlock and they can summon me, then, you know, golden, no problem. Unfortunately, they're not able to. They weren't able to summon. So, as you'll probably be able to read in the chat box, I'll really say, if you don't mind waiting, I can join. I see it's been spamming for a while, so it's looking like they're getting a little bit desperate for people. It is another hunter that's whispering me, but I'm not too worried about the loot as such. Say I'm level 45, he's level 41, so but it's all good. We join up. And I'll head my way over there. So yeah, only waiting for one more. I think we're only waiting for DPS as well, which is really quite tasty. But we just finished killing this one off. Because the second quest we have here is to actually kill the other two kinds of elementals here, which means I don't have to be picky. I can just kill everything. But I'm going to sod off over to Older Man. Okay, here we are. That was easy. Okay, we finally managed to get a DPS. They kind of left and came back again doing something or other. I'm not too sure what, but it's a druid, and a pretty cushy druid at that. I have to be honest. So we're just doing the usual, buffing up and all that. The hunter has requested anyone if they got any drinks. Luckily I've got some of these enchanted waters on me that we got from Feralas, which are level 25. Because just the same as what the other person said there, the ones that I've got, my Morning Glory Juice, are level 45. And he's only level 41, so he weren't able to have it. But luckily, as I say, we had the enchanted waters. I only gave him 5. I kept a couple for myself because I wasn't able to actually buy any more, and the Morning Glory Juice can be rather expensive if you are to do what I usually do, which is usually get 40 to 60 before going into a dungeon, because I'm still struggling with mana. But because I've got quite a bit of I've got a couple of levels above our other party members here, so I don't have to worry too much. I seem to be doing quite a bit of damage. I mean, it doesn't show up on the damage meter there too much at the moment. I don't think I've actually made it to the top yet because they were killing an awful lot while they were waiting for me to travel. But I'm going to keep good control of Kiki, because he's really the powerhouse of all of my damage, really, if it wasn't for Kiki. And just using basic, you know, Hunter's Mark, Serpent Stings. We do have a little bit of a problem with AoE. I'm not too sure, but I think this Hunter's Growl is on because he keeps on taking... At first I thought he was using Intimidate a lot, which he was. But I didn't have the heart to tell him that, you know, Intimidate causes quite a high amount of threat. You know, probably shouldn't be doing it. Not unless you really have to, but he keeps doing it. But none of the others complain. It was quite a very relaxed, chilled group, this, so sort of really nice. And we're able to get a few of the quests done. I have picked up, I think I had 4, 5 quests maybe for here, I think. Majority of them outside the actual instance. There's only a couple inside, but I also know that there is a couple. If we make it to the end, no spoilers. If we make it to the end, there is some quests to pick up at the end as well. So it's just the trogs. Slapping trogs. We love to slap trogs. Slapping trogs is what we live for. There's not really much else to discuss on there. But I'm loving these crits. Also, find out a bit later on, because, you know, you pick things up. This hunter's actually marksmanship. I noticed that she's using aim shot quite a bit, and she gets some pretty hefty. I say she, could be he, don't know. But the character's a she, so we'll say she. Doing some really rather nice crits. I think later on she does a crit for over 800 with an aim shot, which is just beautiful at this level. Beautiful. But it hasn't made me wanna change back to marksmanship. Now I've got back into the Beastmaster role and we're using Bestial Wrath, and now Beastmaster's just the way forward for me. Really is good fun, especially in vanilla. It was quite a beef. See, she used Feign Death there. I'm not too bothered if I pull the odd one or two. But unfortunately our tank is a warrior, and I think it looked like he was struggling for rage quite a bit, but also the tab targeting. And I think me and the other hunter are both guilty of using volley maybe a touch too soon. But with the damage it ended up kicking out, not bothered. At no point did we struggle through this. Our healer is a paladin, and I've got to be honest, really, really good healing. Really good healing. Now I'm not going to be going out of my way to make sure that I clear each and every quest that I have for here. This was really for fun.
Hi.
I'm trying to get me that all important level 46, which will then make it the highest level character I have on this server, which is really funny. I'm finally higher than my bank ult, which is great. So yeah, can't wait for that. I'm also thinking about, as far as the talent point goes, actually putting it on Spirit Bond, which the first rank in that, both me and my pet regenerate 1% of our total health every second or whatever it is, all the time the pet is active. And just thinking about, because at the moment I'm trying to save mana and all that, but Kiki does take an awful lot of damage. He gives out a lot of damage, but he does take a lot of damage as well, so I'm trying to sort of help go, you know, sort of negate the downtime a little bit, because even when I am saving mana, I'm still struggling to, you know, keep his health up. I'm going through an awful lot of bandages, so see, I think Spirit Bond might just help, especially when I get the second rank in it. Might just help sort that out. Nice. I'm going to try and make sure I keep getting rid of these totems. The main ones that come up are healing totems, and this, like that one there, as you saw, the lava burst. Fucking awfulness. So because I'm ranged, I kind of take it upon my responsibility to get rid of those enemy totems. Sometimes it's not worth it, but I think it is. Especially if you have totems. I think there's ones like in one of the Razor Fen totems that do like a entangling roots kind of effect. I think it's Razor Fen. I might be full of shit, it might be a later expansion. But the, you know, totems like that can be really, really annoying. And if you've got you know, melee that isn't close enough to attack, or range that need to get out and, you know, do some proper ranged attacks, you know, those sort of totems just, it's not hard. They usually drop within like one auto attack. I think it's just one of those things that hunters are supposed to do. I mean, I know I should really use my traps more. I do use some a bit later on. A few of the explosive traps, which I mainly use because of the AoE. But the tank does kind of keep them away, and I just had to do a cut there because I just needed a quick AFK moment. But we didn't miss much. He was only kind of going around the corner. But anyway, we're about to enter a room where one of the bosses is, I believe. I think this is the one with the staff. Have we got the staff? It is the one with the staff. And this is a real kind of Indiana Jones moment. Which one? Raiders? Is it Raiders of the Lost Ark? Pretty sure it was Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, where he's got to put the pole in the ground. Someone's staff was too small. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Raiders. Definitely not Temple of Doom. Yeah, anyway. I digress. Yeah, it would be nice if that, I don't know, that kind of 3D structure on the ground of a type city, it would be nice to know what that's actually on. Anyway, don't think it matters. It does the job. Put the pole in, light shines, open door, giant boss comes out, and you slap her. You slap her senseless. But there is a quest here, and it's not actually for the boss. A lot of people don't realise. There's one where you need to find a hidden chamber, and it is actually this one behind her. So once she's out, the quest won't be complete until you actually run in to the room. So if you're in this area, you've got this quest and you're thinking, how the shit, what the hell? Yeah, you need to just basically walk into the room, it'll come up, bloody blah, complete, love it, hand it in, receive XP, everyone's happy. Nice. Okay, just ended a few of those there then. Oh, we've got one more. The reason why I was going into the door there is I plan on dropping in an explosive trap. That's right, I want to get on that DPS early. Because at the moment I am the top of the DPS board. Mainly due to my levels, but only just. So I want to have a look and see if I can really nuke this down. So I'm going to be using the cooldowns, rapid fire, bestial wrath. I'm pretty sure I do. And the hunter was pulled 2 more. Terrific. I'm going to stay on the boss and nuke it down. Looks like the hunter's pet's keeping hold of it, but yeah, using all the cooldowns. Just get rid of the boss. Fortunately, that has run my mana completely dry. Then I will get on and start attacking the ones that the hunter had pulled. And that is a nice brace. It's a really good upgrade for us, but I think the agility is the same. I can't quite see on there because the screen's a hell of a lot small, but I'm pretty sure the agility is exactly the same. The only real game we'd get is the slight armor bonus for the fact that it's a blue item. So I'll just go for greed, and unfortunately I didn't get it. Never mind, but as I mentioned, walk into here, here we go, quest complete. And that's nice. You also see earlier I picked up the shattered necklace. We got to hand that in to someone in Ironforge. After you've done that, he then asks you to get 5 silver bars. I think this is the quest I'm thinking of. So yeah, when you go to hand that in, if you take 5 silver bars with you, and then you can hand in both at the same time then. Which unfortunately is not something that I knew about at the time, so I had to go back to the auction house. I'm going to take the opportunity to skin what I can, but I'm not going to go silly. These do drop scorpion scales, but it's not, you know, a lot at all. I think AoE, rather than being like 2 hunters here with the volley and multi-shot, I think it'd be a lot easier if we had a mage with us. At least one to do a frost nova to keep them all in place and then lay the hammer down. But no matter. Skin a couple, leave the rest. Some more scorpions. Now I'm pretty sure somebody else here is a skinner, but they don't seem to be skinning anywhere near the amount I do. Might be the druid. I'm not sure. I know the hunter doesn't seem to be skinning anything. Trouble is, at this level, a lot of it, I was getting thick, but I was also getting heavy, and I really don't need heavy. To be honest, rugged wouldn't go amiss now. I'm not going to be getting that until I'm like in my 50s, I'd imagine. So we're getting there, just not quite yet. But after we get to level 46 and get the new skills, it's really sort of 48 I'm looking at. 48's kind of the minimum level to do anything in the Searing Gorge, and as I have mentioned in previous episodes, that is somewhere I really want to quest. I think it's also worth mentioning that at this point when I was recording this last night, now it was the middle of the night, but the population was just over 3,000, which, to be honest, is a little bit heartbreaking. I mean, I know it's the middle of the night, but with these private servers, during the night should be when all the Americans come on, so you should have a relatively stable population over the course of the 24 hours when it comes to these non-region specific private servers. But no, it's gone down. It has gone down. The last couple of times it's been feathering just over 3k people online. So the plus side to that is hopefully all the gankers have gone, which would be lovely. I have noticed that I wasn't getting ganked into Naris when I was there before. But I don't know, I just don't understand the thoughts behind the release of Silverhand. You know, a server that's going to last 2 months, which means they've released all the content for it. And it's, I don't know, Northdale for me was always the best of the private servers. You know, it came in after Lightbringer for Light's Hope, after there was the split from Elysium. I've tried the Kronos ones and obviously the various others for the different expansions, and Northdale was always, or had, you know, just a brilliant server. And it's just a shame that it's going to die now when Classic releases, but it's going to die with no one on it. So it kind of feels like the server's being taken before its time, which is really sad to see, because obviously this is, you know, we've met a lot of people whilst being on here, and friendships made, and it's just a real shame that Northdale is kind of being forced to do a slow, painful death. I mean, I'm going to crack on, I'm going to persevere and do what I can. It's going to be definitely more focused on quests than dungeons now. I was quite lucky to get into this one. I don't know if I'm ever going to get into Zul'Farrak now I've got all the quests for it. So I'm hoping it is just because it was the middle of the night, but as I say, I would have been expecting a lot of the sort of the American side come over, or any that's, you know, from a time zone that's slightly different to mine. But as you can see, there's still people here. They're still leveling. We've got a group, so try and keep hope alive. But yeah, just a shame. You know, I imagine the big end grouping of everybody in one place, or you know, one last PvP raid. It probably being on Silverhand now rather than Northdale. It just seems a shame that this server that's given us so much, people just turn their back on it. just cheers for that. Cheers then. Bye. Guess there's no such thing as server loyalty. But to say this is lower level, the XP is coming in, just over 3 bars to go until level 46. The level of the mobs as we go through is just getting higher and higher. So yeah, all in all, good dungeon to do, especially at this level. I mean, yeah, I could have gone a bit more serious and got all the quests for it, but a lot of the quests for here are on the outside, and quite a few of them, or there's at very least one that I know of, you've got to come back and see the corpse of a paladin that's close to the entrance. Probably won't be doing that, spoiler alert. Only plan on doing this one once. But it looks like we're now onto some dwarves. This dwarf in particular does seem to be focusing an awful lot more. He seems to be swapping between Kiki and Glade. I think it's Glademan. I'm not sure. I can't remember his name. But the druid that was with us. Glademain. But yeah, either way, he's yeah, the threat seems to be sort of, it seems to be off tanking, as I say, between Kiki and the druid. And I'm not. So I think Kiki must be doing it just purely on damage. He's not got growl on, and I do keep swapping between defensive and passive. So sometimes you'll see Kiki just bop straight on in. And what I'm doing here is I'm targeting the tank, then targeting his target, and then sending Kiki in on that target while I'm drinking. Unfortunately, as you just saw there, the tank then changed the target, went for another one, and Kiki bolted straight on through to the first. So something to be mindful of if you are going to do it, you know, around corners, but just doing it target of target. Bear in mind, a lot of tanks, especially warriors, that do a lot of tab targeting. Sorry about that, just had a little fly thing on there. Anyway, but yeah, sort of focus more on, you know, put the V health bars up, focus on the one that is actually losing the damage, rather than tank's target. Now, as they've mentioned there, we're going to be pulling all of these. There's no two ways about it. We're going to nuke down the adds. Which is what I plan to do there. I'm going to set down a freezing trap just in case I pull one that's a little bit too close. Immediately pick for the other add. and then nuke the boss down. Just take him clean out of the equation, really. Put him out of my misery. And we dropped him like a bad habit. He is down. That's it, it's over. Really nice gear. Not for us though. And I just went to cancel there because I wanted to make sure I did click greed and not need. Because if I clicked need on that one, that would have been a full-on ninja. Now there is this quest here. According to the druid, as part of a long chain, so we can't do it. But I don't know. I thought I had it because we do need some sort of tablet or something. But as I'm literally just here to kill things for XP. Any quest I do is a bonus. Training for Kiki, I think, more than anything else. Now they're using that cleanse quite a lot, or whatever it is they're using to get rid of the debuffs. I don't know whether or not doing that is always a good idea, especially mana wise for healers. Sometimes it is, but if it's something that's going to be sort of recast on you straight away, literally don't waste the mana. I mean, luckily this paladin seems to be really good for keeping it going. It's barely stopped the drinks. But I know whenever I use some sort of dispel when I'm using my priest as a healer, I could sit there dispelling for days. It's just a mana sink. Sometimes it's worth it, sometimes it's not. Situational dependent. Here we go, yeah. 845 for an aim shot, which is really good crit. But the druid goes on better. You see me keep spinning the camera around there. What I'm doing is there is a quest to pick up these mushrooms. You need 12 of the bloody things, and I think in total I find 2. A, because I keep forgetting about it, and B, because I do keep spinning the camera around. Honestly, I don't see them. I've probably missed loads, because I'm sure there is plenty, especially sort of around the beginning area of this instance, maybe even outside the instance. But I just don't see them. I'll pick them up anyway. But I didn't really have massive hopes. It was just a case of, you know, if I got to the end of the dungeon and I had like 9, then I'd probably take the time to go around and see if I can find the last few. But I'm pretty sure 2 is all I got, so it was like fair enough. Job done. Not doing that. Kill quests will always be better than collection. No two ways about it. Okay, I do like to fuck this up. Yeah, I do like to send Kiki in, particularly onto the caster. Kiki is Broken Tooth, and as you know, they are the pet for casters. So whenever I see a caster, I will focus purely on that. At the end of the day, the better we do as individuals, the better the group does. And Kiki on casters is just... It's his calling, it was what he was born to do. I'd be more than happy to not have to associate with these trogs anymore. But they're not murlocs. There's always that. So we've got a boss in here. Not one for any quest in particular, I don't believe. Certainly not one for a quest that I have. I've just, because I pulled that, I'll just move to one side just so I can continue what the tank was trying to do, which was pull them up. It seems to have worked. But yeah, I don't think there's a quest in here. As I say, there's definitely not one for me. But it is a boss. You know, it's XP. And in that sense, it's always worth doing. Get back to minimum range. Regular ranged distance. Yeah. Backed up just enough to get the multi-shot in there. More multi-shots the better, really.
Me, Grimlock, king!
Okay, so he's pulled the boss. Old Grimlock. Just sending the pay in. Just wanted to get as much mana back as I could for this. Because there's a few here. Mainly the boss and I think the basilisk are the main ones to sort of pay attention to. Just going to run over to the other side. Get rid of the totem. And get back on the boss. Relatively easy boss. I think that's a chain lightning that he uses, which, you know, understandably, if you're gonna bunch up, you are gonna take damage. No two ways about it. I'm pretty sure. I mean, as a ranged, I never really get in close enough. You know, to really sort of know for sure, but so chain lightning, stay the hell back. Okay, I've cut it towards the end here because the rest of it was very much more of the same. See a trog, slap a trog. So I've cut that out and sort of brought it to here, sort of main sort of ending area, dwarves and golems and shit, that actually makes up the bulk of Older Man, or at least the finishing part of it. So just take these out. These are really, I've got to be honest, once we got to here, these boots are nice. No good for me though. I've got to be honest, where this is sort of like the ending of the dungeon, I thought this was going to be a fair bit harder, but to be honest with you, this there was just nothing to it. And there's a tactic that they use later on the end boss, which I've got to be honest, I've never actually seen it done that way before, but it was really, really good. Sorry if you can hear someone cutting their grass. They've been cutting their grass on and off all day, pretty much. It's now, as I'm recording this, about 3:30, and I swear down, they've been cutting it all day. Their grass can't be any shorter. It's like the skinhead for lawns. It's basically just dirt they've got left. But they just stop cutting your fucking grass. Fucking 5 fucking minutes, man. Just stop cutting your fucking. It's already short. I don't know. Some people find cutting their grass therapeutic. For me, I'm a really bad hay fever sufferer, as you can probably hear. So cut grass is something that really gets me going. And then, you know, I can see people who's like, oh, it's summer, I know, I'll cut the grass. It's like, yeah, but now you've cut the grass, find something else to do. Don't cut the fucking grass again. Anyway, it just means I'm going to go outside and sneeze lots. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, joy. I can't shut the window. I just can't. Ruining my videos, people. Ruining my videos. So thanks for that. But anyway, we'll crack on back to it. I'll get as close as I can to the microphone, and hopefully that'll work. Can you hear me now? He stopped. Fantastic. Right, we'll crack on. Slap the golem, slap the dwarves. Take them all clean out. Just take them out. Oh my god, your glass is fucking short! Anyone else get that? I think every street must have one. You know, the guy that wants to cut his grass all day, every day. Don't matter if it's snowing, he's out there cutting his grass. You know the guy I'm talking about. You've all met him. Everybody knows one. Gets up at crack of dawn, cuts his grass. It's even that artificial astroturf stuff, you know, it doesn't even grow, and he's out there cutting it. Pair of scissors. A noisy pair of scissors. Anyway, so yeah, this part, we've seen it many times. Touch the table in the middle, golems come up. I'm just making sure I get a nice bit of mana first before we partake. I'm going to put down a freezing trap for no reason at all, and that was actually by mistake. I wanted to put down an explosive trap, so as soon as the cooldown's done I will be doing it. As soon as you're ready, there we go, put it down. Nice. Touch the table. Here we go, it's on. You see, now what I do if I'm a tank in these certain situations, and I'm not the world's greatest tank, I'm not an experienced tank in any way, shape or form, please don't think that. See my Warrior series, you'll know I'm not really a tank, I don't enjoy it. But when I do, if I see someone's putting down something like an explosive trap there, or perhaps later on the Death Knight, if they're putting down their death and decay in a particular target location, if I'm the tank, I will kite whatever I've got into that, because it's literally silly not to. So if you are going tank, and if you see someone's put something down, you use that. If you see a warlock's doing a rain of fire in a particular area, they've done it at the wrong time, or for whatever reasons it's in the slightly wrong place, kite your mobs into it. The more damage the better, really. You know, and because if you force the warlock or the mage with their blizzard, or later on the DK with death and decay and all that, if you force them to have to recast it, it's a waste of their mana. Literally a waste of their mana. So yeah, if you see any target location AoE damage or CC or whatever, use it. If you're a tank, use it. Yeah, now he's just asked me what, you know, if I've got Serpent Sting rank 6, which I do. I can't remember where I got it, whether or not it was 42 or 44. I've got a feeling 42, so Cena will enjoy that extra damage over time soon. I don't know whether or not I know I've dinged, and as you saw I put on Spirit Bomb, but I'm not sure if the other hunters dinged yet or not. It's level 41, so I'm pretty sure it's Serpent Sting rank 6 next level, but to be honest I can't remember. All I do know is that it's not 46, so it's either 42 or 44, and my guess is 42. Pretty sure 44 I didn't actually get shit. But rank 46 I do end up going. We end up getting another Viper Sting, another Scare Beast, we get Aspect of the Wild at 46, and pretty sure there was another one that I can't remember. Might have been another Immolation Trap. Yeah, I think it was another Immolation Trap. But anyway, we're at the home straight now. Didn't we skip a Golem boss? Not a clue. Probably, but not bothered. Now I'm just checking the healer's gear, because what I have noticed during the course of the play while I was at it, they were needing on an awful lot of items, and a couple of times her items were better. Now no one else complained about it, no one else noticed about it, so I kept quiet. But I do notice when I see someone needing on quite a few items, and especially with the way I play it, even if it's an item that I could definitely need on, I know I don't really need it, so I don't need it. I only need it if I really, really need it, not if my particular character or class could need it, if that makes sense. You know, we all know we're going to be getting a better item within a level or two time. You know, like with the braces from before, the other hunter is only level 41. The braces would be on that hunter a hell of a lot longer than what they would have been on my hunter, and therefore, as far as I'm concerned, he needs it. And that's just the way I sort of prefer to see things, and a bit naive really, but I sort of like to think that everybody else would be the same, but unfortunately not. Unfortunately bloody not. Unfortunately some people are for themselves. I mean, you could argue no one needs anything anymore on this server. Just anyone who's leveling's probably not going to get to raid. Not on Northdale anyway. Are we all excited for Classic, people? Are we all excited for Classic? I am. I definitely am. So yeah, as I've mentioned before, we're going to be going either Warlock or Druid. I think that was what I kind of come to the conclusion of, unless I've changed my mind, but that is currently what I'm thinking. I am leaning more towards Druid, purely because I really like the Mulgore. I've always found that one of the most chillaxed, most pleasant start zones in the entire game, really. Not just Horde, but overall. I've always liked the Mulgore. I can't wait to see the plains of the Mulgore with the lush new added ground clutter and the graphics upgrade that Classic's going to be bringing us. I really can't wait. Plus the fact it also means that I can, if necessary, fulfill any role that is needed of me within the guild. So I'm definitely leaning more towards a Tauren Druid for Classic. Okay, coming up for the last boss. And as I said before, there is a tactic that someone that wants to to use on this one, which is the first time I've actually seen this, but apparently on this corner, apparently you can jump up. And you get it just right, so you're on it, there we go. And then keep pets down. So I need to go back down and risk not being able to do the jump. Just in case you thought the first time was a bit of a fluke, did it again. Now I know he's saying space then W, which yeah does work. That's what's needed, especially like when you're doing the jump part of the Warsong Gulch to get onto the tunnels. But I didn't there. I actually just stepped back and just run and jumped. But we're loving a bit of this up high. Found like an eagle's nest to do my ranged sniper thing. Using bestial wrath. To be fair, gotta be done with it. Gotta be done.
Awake, ye servants! Defend the discs!
And as you can see there, as soon as the healer did a ranged heal there, all of the ads focused. So they're now all into evade. I did use a sort of AoE, I think it was just a multi-shot just to see if I could do any damage, but no, they're all in evade mode now. But that's fine, because once the boss is dead, they disappear. Which is a shame if they was to give XP, but never mind. We hit level 46, we got the dungeon done, bit of loot there that I can't have, and now it's just the quests. Now in here there is a couple of quests. Oh, we're full, so I'm going to get rid of the homing chicken because that's an easy one to re-pick up. It's just an item in the bag. And this quest is just speak to this Norganon. Sorry if you can hear my 4-year-old in the background. Just recently turned 4 last week, and he's off his nut. He's proper off his nut. But anyway, we'll speak to this lawkeeper. Go through all of this that no one pays attention to. I don't think anyone's ever read that, ever. Here we go here. You can't see it, but you do actually hand it back in here as well. And that takes us back to Ironforge. Okay, so a few of the party members was talking about perhaps going around picking up a few of the mushrooms and whatnot, which means trying to get 12 mushrooms each for all of us. I would just be a grind and a half, so I decided not to do that. I think the quest that I've got to hand in more than enough, really. None of them really give us anything special loot wise. I think it was like a 60 or a 65 silver from one of them, and some follow-on quests within Ironforge, like the one I mentioned, where we've got get the 5 silver bars and then hand them in, and then they want to speak to so and so. It's in the Mage Quarter of Ironforge anyway. I think that's the Shattered Necklace. So that is all the time I've got for this one. Thanks an awful lot for watching. I do really appreciate it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you all in the next one.